Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Thursday, and welcome back. Welcome back. I know it's gonna be warm today, so I'm dressing appropriately. Also super duper excited because today I get to go see Doctor Strange. Woohoo! I know the geek in me is just ecstatic. So, how is everyone today? It's Thursday. This close to Friday. So, Friday Eve, Friday Junior, all the good Friday things, right? But it's still Thursday. So, good morning, older sibling. Since I missed the show yesterday, my head wasn't into it. But since I missed the show yesterday, I thought I would open the guidance stuff with the self-care deck. So, we'll start with that one, and then we'll get to the affirmators deck. And I want to share a few thoughts. So I saw a post this morning on Facebook, which, you know, sometimes things offend you and you become really, really grateful that the people you love and care about are safe and sound. And one of my family members was in, I would, you know, I'm going to go out on the limb and call it a near miss. Okay, because it looks like this accident that they witnessed happened right in front of them. But it's hard when your entire family's in the car, you know, and you've already been through a lot of traumatic things in your life. So, I love the message that was put in the Facebook post about, you know, always telling people that you love them and care about them and never wasting a moment, right? Good morning, baby sibling. It is Revenge of the 5th, but there's some controversy over that. So a lot of people think that it should be the 6th because it's a Sith. But I'm with you, baby sibling. It's also Cinco de Mayo. But like I said, so, you know, as you can see, I am wearing my Star Wars because I firmly believe that it is Revenge of the 5th. But it's also Doctor Strange Day. So I'm super duper excited about that. But anyways, as I was relaying, you know, a family member of mine went through a near miss yesterday, and it's kind of shaken up everybody. And that's completely understandable. And the reason I'm sharing that is because, like I said, I like the message they put in there. You know, don't leave anything unsaid. Don't forget to tell people you love them. Live life to its fullest. All these wonderful things. But there's another thing, too, that I want to share. Because similar things have happened to me over the course of my life. Things you've witnessed. I remember I probably had my very first car for about 3 months. And I was driving to see my boyfriend at the time, and one car ran a light, and it was a car. Well, I don't want to say, it was like a one of those windowless cargo vans. You know, it was like a regular van. And it hit this tiny car and spun it from one corner to the other, and it was just kind of like, whoa, you know. And you're kind of like, because I had the green light, and the car next to me. It's just, I don't think they realized there was a truck coming and running that red light, and I had seen it. And, you know, to this day, I'm grateful for my father teaching me spidey instincts when it comes to driving. But, one of the worst things you can tell people, in my opinion, is take a deep breath, it'll be okay. They know to take a deep breath. They know it's going to be okay. What they need is to process it, you know, especially when it's that close. Because everything flashes before your eyes, right? You're like, oh, shit. So when those things happen, just be there for somebody, okay? Just give them an ear. Let them know, hey, you know, if you want to talk, I've been there. I'll just listen, but know that I'm listening with understanding ears. And if you haven't been in those kind of situations, just listen anyway, okay? Because sometimes that's what they need. They just need an ear. And maybe someone to help them process it. And, you know, whatever the case, however you deal with it, it's okay. That's your process. But do know that in time, it does get reconciled in your mind. Weird things are always going to happen in life. Strange things are always going to happen in life. Fortunately, from the post that I read, nobody was hurt. Thank goodness, because there was a picture accompanying that post, and it's just like, holy shit. I'm glad nobody was hurt. So again, it's a healing process. You know, it's just this, whoa, it's like a mind-blowing thing in a not good way. So just be patient and kind when things happen like that to people. Okay, I'm laughing because the first card I pull is deep breathing. Happy self-care Thursday. I know self-care Wednesday is usually a thing. Like I said, yesterday and the day before, I'm finally coming out of it. It's still a bit of a fog, but that's what it feels like. That's how I feel. Like it's like all just kind of woofing out of my head. But deep breathing. All right. It can be hard, but sometimes we need to go back into mindfulness. Sometimes we need to just like, So next one, take a bath. Take a bath. Hey, shower. Take a bath. But in this case, it doesn't mean, hey, you need to shower. It means you need to relax. You need to just unwind, unload, whatever, And they show flowers and essential oils in there. I'm excited. I learned, and candles and crystals. Oh, candles and crystals, that'd be fun. I learned I learned the recipe yesterday for bath bombs, and I'm super excited because I think I'm going to play with that next. This one says connect with crystals. If that is your thing, I love crystals. Da, 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 da. So, if that's your thing, do it. Do it. If it's not your thing, but you've been curious, do it anyway. I think a lot of times we worry because in the movies and on TV shows and all over the place, people are always making fun of people who have crystals in their home. And yet, you're finding it's becoming more and more of a thing. Like, oh, they must be into some weird stuff. They must be this and that. People will meditate with pearls. People will meditate with diamonds. That's just another form. Diamonds are another form of crystals, guys. Pearls are another form of stones and stuff like that. Mother of pearl. All these different things that we might wear in our regular daily life. A garnet. Your birthstone. Those are all crystals that people meditate on. That a lot of people will make fun of people for using and utilizing. Everything, all these things come from the earth. They carry a natural energy with them. When you take care of them, that energy can really, really peak and really, really do things for you and really kind of help you center and find your mindfulness. So even if you have to keep it a secret, just yourself, look into it. Think about it. Connect with the moon. We just had a new moon last weekend, but we are in a waxing cycle right now, going to the full moon, which will, I believe, be next Sunday, May 15th. That's older sibling's birthday. So excited. Love birthdays. But so that'll be on May 15th. It'll go through its 12-hour cycle of being completely full to the 16th. But connect with the moon. Now is the time to, since we're in a waxing phase, which I believe is this side. Okay, so, you went from the new moon over here, waxing up to the full, and then into the waning. When things are waxing, that's the time to put your intentions forward, your prayers forward, your manifestations forward. This is the time to set intentions and manifestations. When the moon is waning, that's when you let things go. You let old patterns go, bad habits, things that maybe just kind of happened and you're just like, nope, don't want to deal with it anymore. You can let it go during that phase. The moon takes it away into the new moon, which is also the dark moon, right? So, because the moon's not lit. But there you go. So the full moon, like I said, we're in a waxing cycle. So put your good stuff out there. Meditate. Okay, meditate. These all seem to have the same kind of idea. Mindfulness, peacefulness, going within, trying to find your recenter, or trying to find your center. If you're struggling with that, it will happen. Just, sometimes practice makes perfect. If you're struggling with meditating, you're like, well, I don't meditate because I'll fall asleep. Okay, I fall asleep all the time when I meditate. But before I do, I usually hit that point of mindfulness. Sometimes you'll fall asleep, sometimes you won't. Meditating, if you're trying to go to sleep, is actually a good idea. Sometimes I will talk myself to sleep. I've done that the last 2 nights. I've had to talk myself to sleep. But yeah, they're not bad ideas. These are good ideas. I don't necessarily, unless you are a master meditator, I do not recommend meditating when you're in the bathtub, because that could be dangerous. That could end up being dangerous. So just, in your room, in a chair, maybe at lunch. You know, sometimes when we go outside and we just sit there and kind of lose ourselves in the sounds of nature, or maybe the sunlight and the warmth, or even a cool breeze, and your mind is just clear. A lot of times you're meditating and you're not even realizing it. Because for me, and it might vary with different people, but for me, in the way I learned, meditating isn't just about trying to get answers. A lot of times it's just clearing your head. You know, it's like doing a weekly cleaning in your brain, or maybe a daily one, depending on how often you meditate. And a lot of times it might be to, you know, find an answer, to go within. Sometimes you have to go within to find that answer. So, let's see. Connect with water. That's a good one. Connect with water. If you are near water, or again, bathtub, shower, you can do rituals in the bathtub or the shower, then do it. Do it. You know, just connect with the water. If you have a swimming pool, jacuzzi, whatever, lake, ocean. I realize not everyone has an ocean. That's why I said lakes, pools, bathtubs, showers. Connecting with water. If you need to feel like here's a ritual that most people probably don't realize. How many times have you gotten into the shower? You know, whether I'm a night shower, so this might pertain more to people who shower at night because you're washing off the day. But I'm sure it can go for morning showers too. But, you know, sometimes when I've had a really, really bad day, I will just get in there and just let the water, the minute the water hits you, you just feel like, oh, it's relaxing, right? A lot of times, subconsciously, your soul is just washing away all the bad stuff, or trying to. If you feel that whooshing feeling, that just very sense of calm and peace, let the day go. Let the day go. That's your inner spidey instincts telling you. It's your spidey instincts telling you that, you know, just take a moment. All right. Create art. I am the world's worst artist, but I will tell you, I just love to paint and color and draw random things. And most of the time they're just squiggly lines that end up connecting into some weird blobby looking thing that if you put eyes on it could probably be something right out of a horror movie. But, or a cartoon. Depends on how cute you want it to be. But, it's very therapeutic for me. A lot of times I'll just throw color onto a paper. It's why I like coloring books too, because, you know, a lot of times when we're kids, we want everything to look just the way it's supposed to, right? Like, oh, I'm coloring a picture of Cinderella, so her dress has to be this, that, or the other. I've gotten out of that phase, and I've gotten into just whatever color suits me, and sometimes I'll just randomly pick something without looking, and I'll just color, you know, because it's therapeutic. It's mindfulness. It's the reason I started creating earrings, because it's mindfulness. It's getting me out of my head. Which I wish they would sell better, because I'm running out of room, and I still have all this creation happening in me. So I'm going to pull one more card. It's the sex card. I don't know why I stick giggle when I pull this one. It's the sex card. All right. It's another way of self-care. For those of you who are single saying, oh, that doesn't fit me. It can. You don't need somebody else in the room. All right. I speak from experience. And no, about 2 months ago or 3 months ago, when I first got that card, I would have shamed myself right out of the room for sharing that. But you know what? When you've been single for a long time, you got to do what you got to do. So don't be afraid to explore. Baby sibling. You know, baby sibling said these cards are speaking to her. I can't lie to you. After I shuffled it, and while I was talking, and I'm not sure if you were on yet, I kept, you know, like splitting the deck in half. And then all of a sudden I heard stop. And these are the cards that came up. So someone's got your back, girl. Someone's got your back. And again, for everybody else, these are great cards. Creating art, meditating, taking just a ritual bath. And a ritual bath doesn't mean, you know, bathe yourself in someone's blood. Okay, that's just gross. I mean, that's the movies and maybe some weird cult things. But for normal people, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody, because, you know, in case that one random person sees that, but Yeah, no. So, definitely a guardian angel, girl. I'm feeling Archangel Michael. So, anyways, and Archangel Raphael. He's coming in to heal you, or to help you process. So, anyways, yeah, like I was saying about the sex card, no shame, no shame. Like I said, I've come a long way in 3 or 4 months, right? Since that card first came up. I mean, I got the giggles so bad, you guys. I literally took about a week before I decided on the next Self-Care Wednesday to recover that particular card and go into depth on why sometimes we feel so ashamed when we see these things come up. And in a lot of ways, it's conditioning, right? I mean, I grew up in a split household, as I've mentioned in the past. My mom was very Catholic. My father had grown up in a religion that really kind of stifled him and basically caused him to walk away from organized religion altogether. He bounces in between supreme being up above to nothing's there. But and I say that because I think sometimes things will happen to him and it's like, oh. But then it's almost like, well, this is how I felt for a long time. So, and I can't really speak for my dad, but I know from different times that I've talked to him, it seems to bounce from time to time. But he used to always tell me, if you want to read a book with violence, war, and sex in it, read the Bible. Now, I'm not putting anybody down that reads the Bible. I'm not putting the Bible down itself because there are a lot of good messages in there. But I think growing up under the religious tutelage of my mother until I was 18, that was her agreement. The minute I became an adult, I could make my own decisions on where my path would take me. I have a very personal relationship with God. I am a polytheist, so I have a very personal relationship with a lot of different deities. All right. And that may not swing well with a lot of people. A lot of people may make fun of me and say, hey, there's only one. But you know what? He is the guy that sits at the head of my table, or woman, whichever you prefer. God is there. Okay. I do believe in archangels and all that. But I think and I'm not going to say that it's just a religious background because it could be any background. But for me, I think there was part of my religious background that really kind of stigmatized sex. As well as, the trauma I suffered as a child could have really kind of added to that stigma. But it was more of the giggly part that I kind of attribute to my upbringing in an organized religion. Because we make it sound like it's not supposed to be this great thing. And if it's done right... Still waiting, but for that magical moment. But sorry, sidetrack. But no, when it's two people who are just really into it, whether it's a casual thing for you or whether it's a romantic thing for you, when two people come together that really want to be together, it's going to be magical in one way or another. Maybe you have to feel for lack of a better term, maybe you have to feel each other out on this. What your do's, don'ts, likes, dislikes are. But once you figure that out, once you figure out that chemistry and that magical recipe that works for the two of you, it works. But then you have people on the other spectrum that say, but Shelly Marie, I'm single. So am I, kids. There are magic wands out there for everybody. Men, you know what to do. Women, just go at it. Don't worry. Men and women. Don't let the stigma of people's opinions ruin a beautiful experience for yourself. Okay? And I mean that. Don't. Whether you're coupled up with someone or whether you're by yourself. I used to stigmatize myself all the time until I was introduced to a world of toys. And I know this sounds weird. I know this probably, TMI, Shelly Marie, TMI. But these are the things to think on. This is things to think on Thursday. And these are the things to think on. Sometimes we'd rather have the touch of a human. Yeah, I miss that. I miss that a lot. But I can't help it when these urges and these desires come up. And they have to be taken care of. And believe it or not, that is a form of self-care. Have you ever noticed that, say you're in a partner kind of, you're in a relationship, or you're a person who does have, more readily accessible people than some of us do. When you don't get it when you want it, you start to get cranky. I remember at work, the joke used to be, how long has it been since you've been with your boyfriend? It's like, and this is a long time ago, my last boyfriend, actually. And I'd be like, I have no idea. And so my boss would just be like, you need to buy a toy. And I was like, I was just kind of like, oh my, I was horrified. I was absolutely horrified that somebody would suggest that. I was in my 20s, my late 20s. And I was just like, really? But it's like, you would say that? But that's a person who was very comfortable in their sexual experiences. And that's where I'm trying to get. I had to battle a lot of demons to get where I'm at now. And now I'm I'm battling just society's stigmas. So I had to battle my own demons from my trauma, and now I'm battling. Actually, I'm not even battling society's stigmas anymore, because as far as I'm concerned, fuck it. Do what makes you happy. All right? Whether you want to have casual sex with someone, relationship sex with someone, or sex by yourself. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what other people are going to think. Just enjoy yourself. Set yourself free. Let yourself go. And, when that big moment happens, which I have to tell you, damn, I know I'm still giggling because I'm making myself giggle, because it's just like, wow, am I really talking about this? But, watch how your body reacts. Watch how I know, I know, Baby Bear just popped on. She's so funny. She's all, I get on the first words I hear are, fuck it. It's like, yeah, fuck it. Well, literally and figuratively, okay? So, I'm not trying to be crass here, guys. I'm trying to help people open their eyes to new perspectives. And I've been there. I've stigmatized myself when I'm by myself. I mean, how does that happen? But I've done that. And I have to tell you, I think when you allow yourself to enjoy the moment, period, just straight out, enjoy whatever that experience is that you're in, that's when you feel everything. That's when you can, your body probably feels like it's going to convulse right out from underneath someone, or right out of your own bed, or whatever, because it's your body reacting, and you're like, whoa, like it's going to explode. And that's amazing. I was so shut off in my sexual experiences when I was in relationships because of what had happened to me, that I didn't realize how amazing it could be until I was by myself. And that's not anything on them. Maybe it was, maybe a little. There were some partners who were very selfish, and that I can recognize. But that aside, I also know that I could disassociate, and we had that was a topic of discussion a while ago about disassociation, because of trauma. But when I started coming out of that, when I started, it's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress for me. But, the more I move away from pain and trauma, and the more I move into who I am, it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And like I said, it's not about being super TMI. It's about showing people out there that experiences, whether you're with someone or by yourself, can be magical and beautiful. It can be as perfect as you want it to be. The minute you remove the stigma of that we put on the act of sex itself. Someday I hope for that experience with somebody else in the room. It always makes me think of that movie Casual Sex from the 80s, where they're all like, so they're talking to the girl, they're all like, you've never had an orgasm? And they're just like in awe that this woman who's like in almost 30, if she's not 30 already, is like never had one. And then she's like, well, I have once. And then the girls that she's with get all excited, but then she finishes off with, but not with someone else in the room. And I think that's what keeps making me giggle, because that used to make me so sad. I mean, and the whole point is it's not to make you feel bad for her. It's to make you empathize with her, because later, they give her the experience, right? But I think sometimes when we watch movies like that, we get stuck on that idea. And then we start thinking, oh, well, it's horrible if it's just me. No, it's not, okay? Because you're in the room, you're making this happen. So don't stigmatize yourself, all right? Please, I'm asking you not to. Because, everybody deserves a good experience. And even if you're the only one that is causing it for yourself, that's okay. That's okay. One day I hope for you that you will find some. One day I hope for me that I will find someone. But until that happens, if you're going to engage in this act, and sometimes even married people will do these things, maybe they're separated. I mean, not separated like that, but I mean, maybe they're not, maybe one's away for work or something or whatever. I don't know. But, I'm just saying that, I know people who utilize toys in their relationship, period, and they love it. They absolutely love it. But I think where I'm going with this, and I know I'm not trying to focus on people who are in relationships, but I think the reason I'm focusing so much on people who are in, or who are not in relationships, who are single, and don't necessarily go out and are comfortable with casual sex. I'm not comfortable with casual sex. That's just me. I catch feelings. That's my problem. But and I'm not sure how I do now. But I'm just kind of doing my thing now. Just kind of existing. Well, not existing. Trying to live my life and my journey. And I don't know where all this is coming from. It's just literally flying out of my mouth. So I really, really think that there's somebody out there who needs to know this. And maybe I'm one of those people. Maybe hearing it come out of my own mouth will help me, continue on this journey of literally sex or self-exploration. I don't know why I keep giggling. I'm sorry. There's still a little child in me that's like, oh, I can't believe she's saying this. But but truly, don't stigmatize yourself. All right. And, I can tell you this, don't worry about people who are coupled up with other people. You don't know what their sex life is like. You may have a better one by yourself than they do, and so don't worry what other people are doing. Don't pattern yourself after other people's patterns. Follow your own vibe. Follow your own vibration. I'm sorry. These things just happen. They just come out of my mouth. But no, truly. Do not stigmatize yourself. Do not stigmatize the act of sex. Someone's giggling. But, don't surrender your power to your mind. Move with your body. Know how your body feels. See how your body feels. Okay? I mean, it's not like you've never run anything over your body. You shower every night. So, I feel like I've come a long way. So I'm a little proud of myself right now. Not to pat myself on the back. I do have a lot of humility, and I do my best to be very humble, but I'm a little proud of myself because I see now how far I've come in just a few short months in how I think about these things and how I am working towards not stigmatizing myself or even the situation I'm in. Don't no matter who you are and whether you're with someone or not, don't stigmatize the situation you're in. Enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is, whatever it is. And, allow yourself that freedom to feel, like allow yourself that freedom to scream, yell, just be excited, just be like, oh my God, I think I'm going to have an out-of-body experience. One day maybe I'll share, it's a bit TMI, so I'm not sure that I ever will, but my very, very first experience with, it's something I usually just share among friends. So I'm not sure I'm ever going to share it. I'm sorry, it's not a teaser. It's really kind of a funny story, but also a very personal one. But, oh, thank you, baby bear. I know, right? So, probably should have wore it yesterday, but I didn't do the show yesterday. So this was actually my May the 4th be with you shirt, but I decided Revenge of the 5th, way better. So, good look. It even has red R2-D2, so, you can say it's a bad R2-D2. I don't know. But anyways, all right, let's move on. So, again, one last time, don't stigmatize yourself, please. Do not. Not a good thing, not helpful. It's literally a card in the Sacred Ritual Self-Care deck. So, or Sacred Self-Care Rituals. See? Sacred Self-Care Rituals. So, it's appreciating and getting to know your body. And there should be nothing shameful or wrong about that. If somebody's hurt you in the past, I hope for you that you find a way to heal. I'll be honest, I finally have. I had some really good Twitter conversations yesterday with people where I was finally able to really kind of come out about my story of my trauma when I was young. And, how I'm grateful that my parents believed me, how I'm grateful that my parents were supportive, and very compassionate and empathetic to what I was feeling. And it may have taken me years more to heal because I think I held too long on that strength that I got from them instead of finding my own. And everybody's path is different. I used to play the what if game with myself, but baby sibling kind of put the kibosh on that. She's like, you need to stop playing the what if game. And I realize now that my healing took the time it needed because I'm right where I'm meant to be, where I'm at now. And I think the only thing I still stigmatize myself about and where I feel like I should be is my age. I mean, I love birthdays, and I love having birthdays. I do. And I actually don't mind my age. But then you hear things out there and the things people say, and you start thinking, oh. But I'm not going to do that anymore. Where I'm at is where I'm at. And whatever's going to happen in my life from going forward from this day is what's going to happen. And if there are people out there who can't handle it or don't like it, that's too bad for you. Okay? Because this is me. This is who I am. And I'm learning to love this person. I'm getting to reacquaint myself with myself. And getting to know the person that I've always been but have hidden. Or maybe it is the person I'm really growing into. I think there's two different paths we can take. We can uncover the person that we were always meant to be. But for me, I think I grew and blossomed into the person I was always meant to be. And I think, I can call myself a late bloomer. Maybe I am, in some people's eyes. But for me, I bloomed at the right time. I bloomed at the right time. And maybe it's because there's people a lot of people I've seen who are just a little bit older than me or a little bit younger than me, who have been through similar situations and they're still struggling. And I think, wow, I am so grateful to have the footing I have now. Yesterday in one of my tweets, it was the first time I publicly acknowledged that I have healed. I'm kind of excited about that. It's making me kind of misty-eyed because I have. Being able to talk about the sex card and be very open about just not stigmatizing yourself. That's a healing moment for me as well. And I hope for whoever hears this and listens to this, that it's a healing moment for you, or at least another step in your journey towards healing. I had to figure out how to separate that traumatized person from the one, who side by side, it was like being a twin inside of myself. There was, like I've mentioned in the past, the big secret, and then trying to live this normal life with great parents, friends, family, all those things, and somehow they intermingled in the wrong way. And instead of letting that go in the past and learning how to heal it, I just pushed it aside, locked it in a room, and threw away the key. And for me, that wasn't the right thing to do. For others, it might be. I've learned on this journey that what works for me doesn't necessarily work for other people. You know, the things I've done. That's why I don't know if anyone had noticed from when I first started how I used to say, well, you just need to do this, this, and this, because it was working for me. But then I'd see tweets here and there, or I'd talk to people, or I'd hear other stories, and I thought, you know what? And I changed the narrative. I flipped it, not flipped it, but I tweaked it just a little bit to say, this is what has worked for me. And I hope it works for you. But if not, there are a lot of times we'll take different aspects of things, like a little puzzle, or maybe even a recipe, right? You know, you're given a chocolate cake recipe, but maybe you decide, well, instead of chocolate frosting, I'm going to put peanut butter in the middle, you know, and you're tweaking it a bit. You're tweaking it, and other people may say, ooh, you know what? I don't want peanut butter in the middle. Maybe I'll put like a mint frosting in the middle because I love mint, right? People are going to take what we say and what has helped us, and they're going to pick the things that work for them out of it. Maybe they might try the whole thing and say, nope, that doesn't work, but then find a new way with the same idea for what works for them. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn across the board, because, you know, you always want to see people be okay, but even well-intentioned intentions can backfire. So sometimes the best we can do is either just sit there with people and talk to them, or, you know, give them our ear, give them our shoulder. And, you know, if they ask, then tell them, hey, this is what worked for me. You know, if you're on social media, I say now, I don't know if this will work for you, but this is what I did. It worked for me, but whatever, you know, you choose to do, I hope you find your peace. I hope you find your healing and your happiness, because everybody does deserve that. And, you know, just like a lot of other people, some of us we have to struggle from behind. So, older sibling posted something really great a couple days ago, and I reshared it. And I don't remember the whole thing, but I remember the first couple of lines. If you see someone falling behind, walk with them. That's it. Just walk with them. All right. So let's pull an affirmators deck. Oh, we got a bonus card to start, which means we get to pull another one. Ups and downs. Oh my God. This is crazy. I love how the bonus card always seems to go with the next card. And I mean, I know that these are in this deck for a reason. Okay. But it always seems to be that they literally fit one another. I mean, we had a card a few days ago, you know, let it go, right? Which, with perseverance, you could probably make it fit. But this one is literally ups and downs and perseverance, which means that when you feel like you're falling down, get back up. All right, so I'm going to read this card first and then the bonus card. I see life as an incredible ride, and I'm lucky to be on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to puke sometimes, right? But they're also what make things fun and interesting. And when you look back, even puking on yourself makes for a good story. No, it does not. It is not a good story. Just to be gross for a second, many years ago, I went to SeaWorld with my family. Anybody that knows me knows that too much time in the sun makes me sick. I overheat. I get heat. Oh God, I can't even think of, I don't want to say heat exhaustion. I get, well, whatever it is. When my body overheats, it's not a good thing. I get headaches. I get nauseous. I mean, my headaches get so bad, I get nauseous. So I ended up having to leave my family right away. But SeaWorld is still about 75, 80 miles from my house. Ended up in Carlsbad, where I had to pull over and just into a neighborhood and take a nap. But unfortunately, when I got up, I had one bag in my car. One bag. Okay, heat intolerance is another word. But the doctor, that's it. Heat stroke. I get heat stroke, or sunstroke. So between baby bear and older sibling, thank you. But yeah, I threw up. I had one bag and I thought I was done. And I was very dehydrated at that point because I had drank all my water. And 10 minutes from home, I had to call older sibling, please come out with a towel because it is not pretty. So no, I don't think that makes for a great story. But it's gross. But I'm going to read that one more time and then we're going to go to the bonus card. Ups and downs. And see, look, that poor frog. Looks like he's trying to bungee jump. I see life as an incredible ride and I'm lucky to be on it. Yes, the ups and downs make me want to puke sometimes, but they're also what makes things fun and interesting. It can be fun and interesting. And when you look back, even puking on yourself makes for a good story. It does not. It still does not. So anyways, perseverance. It seems you're on a massive journey right now, and this card has arrived to remind you that you will reach the other side. The mountain you're climbing is huge and formidable, but so is your ability to climb it. You don't need to enjoy it, you just need to tackle it. Complain if it makes the job easier, blow off steam. You think mountain climbers get to the top of Everest on inspirational quotes? No way. They're grunting and crying and cursing like freaking pirates. That just doesn't sell a lot of posters. No, it does not. But if you read enough articles, and now we live in the day of technology, right? So if you've seen enough documentaries, even true stories, you will find there were a lot of bodies leading up to the top of Mount Everest. That's right. You heard me. Bones, bodies, people that did not make it to the top or did not make it back from the top. That used to make me sad until I realized, you know what? These people did what they wanted to do. And maybe that was their choice. They're like, go on. I knew this might happen. I don't know. That's not to discourage people from going, though. Train yourself. There's base camps. I think there's 2 base camps. The first base camp, then a little bit higher where they acclimate some more. But a lot of these people that go up there and hit the top, they're in such fit shape. They are climbers. They're not just saying, oh, well, I climbed hiking trail last week, so now I'm going to tackle Everest. Get some practicing, guys, because you want to come back down and tell the story. But fun and interesting, okay? Perseverance can be fun and interesting, but like this card also says, you can complain, you can blow off steam, you can do all those things. It's okay. You can have fun and interesting and blow off steam. And, don't complain for too long because then you might just kind of make that a habit. But complain about the moment, complain about the situation, give it the space it needs to heal or whatever it is, and then let it go. Okay? But that still doesn't mean you're not going to need to blow off steam, in which case do it. But also while you're persevering, you're going to have the ups and downs, but make it fun and interesting. Massive journeys are exactly that. They're crazy. They're hard. And I think sometimes we feel like we're going to fall off the planet. Like it feels like the world has just stopped and we're going to float away. Right? But when we find moments where we can go back to the self-care deck, meditating, ritual baths, if you don't have a bathtub or you don't like to take baths themselves, when you're in the shower, let it all wash off of you. Let it wash away the ick and the grossness of whatever it is you're dealing with. That doesn't mean it's going to go away like that. We're responsible for how long we hold on to things. And if you've ever noticed, I'm going to use older sibling as an example. So it's not a secret that she recently had massive dental surgery. And she goes in for some adjustments on Monday. But currently she's just having a lot of face pain. And, she is only about a week and 2 days out of this surgery. But she is having a lot of face pain. She's having a lot of, I would say, difficulties. She doesn't complain. She hasn't blown off any steam yet. She's been trying to figure out what she can do to hold back this pain. Yes, they gave her pain pills. No, she's not a big fan of using it often. Okay? So, she tries to stay away from those as much as she can. She also has RSD/CRPS, which is an autoimmune pain disorder. It is basically fibromyalgia on steroids. That's how bad RSD is. And fibro is pretty bad. So if anybody is familiar with fibromyalgia, you can imagine how bad RSD is. Okay, and that's not to minimize fibro, all right? I would not wish CRPS on anybody. Anybody. Neither would a person who has it. You know, but just like, you know, but like I said, that does not minimize other chronic pain. But what this can do is that it's probably affecting the area because it's trauma to the body is where it usually affects it. Now, older sibling had spinal surgery several years ago, which I'll just say reactivated CRPS. And, oh, okay, I'll let her know. So older sibling, clove oil helps with pain, and Baby Bear says you can also rub it on her gums, and it's natural. So, well, I'm not sure if she's into cloves, but I'll let her know and give it a shot. So, but yeah, so that can also affect it because it's trauma to the area. Now, she does have full body RSD, but we think that might be part of the problem, as well as the fact that it's just healing. But the point I was going to make is that we go through these pains, we go through this massive journey. She's been on a massive journey just to get to this point. Years-long journey to get to this point where she's at now, where, yeah, she's hurting. But I think the reason she doesn't complain is because she reminds herself that in a few months, it's going to be better. I mean, it'll probably be better before a few months, but what I'm saying is because she has temporaries right now while the gums heal. Okay, but it's one of these things where you're on a massive journey and you feel like you're just swirling and swirling and swirling. And then one day, bam, you're there. And that was kind of like my own journey. Yesterday when I tweeted that, you know, I healed, I was so shocked at myself. I actually deleted what I had said at first. And I thought, no, this literally just flew out of my head and through my fingers and into this comment. Because my subconscious was telling me, Shelly Marie, stop hanging on to the past. You are there. It's okay to embrace the fact that you have healed. There's no shame in healing. And, you know, for those of you who feel like you have to carry your pain for people to understand what you went through, if that makes you feel better, I can't tell you not to. But for me, this is what I say to myself. I have learned to honor my story. And I say honor. I used to say carry my story without carrying my pain. But I honor my past because I survived it. I survived it. I survived it through childhood and my teens with my parents. Even when they didn't know. Because they're just good parents. They're amazing parents. We have our ups and downs. Like anybody with parents has. But they're just being my parents got me through and kept me from being a statistic. But as an adult, when I was on my own and had to heal myself and had to find my own strength, I learned how much I survived. And I honor that part of me. I don't honor what happened to me. What happened to me was horrible and awful and should never happen to anybody. Period. But I honor that child that survived so much, who made it through. And I'm a statistic of emotional eating. I admit that. But there are other things that I could have done, which were much, much worse. And much, much harder to come back from. And emotional eating, I'm not dismissing that. I'm not minimizing that. Because it is hard. It is an eating disorder. But I'm learning to just be. And I'm learning that, you know, it's okay to say I've healed. It's a badge of honor for me now. I almost want to tattoo it onto me. It says, I'm healed. You know, I probably won't because everything that I do use or create on me has a special meaning for me. But honor your story. And like I said, I can't tell you whether or not you should carry your pain. Maybe over time you'll find that you're no longer carrying it, but you're holding on to it. That's where I was. That's where I was before yesterday when I tweeted that I'm healed. I was holding on to it. And I don't know why. Maybe because it was familiar. Maybe because I thought, how can I talk to people if I can't feel some of this? And I thought, no. Because I've noticed the narrative and even the tone has changed because I've healed. And I hope that for other people. I don't know if other people will get there. But for those of you who are similar to me, just know that you can honor your past without carrying your pain. Not your trauma. I don't honor my trauma. I honor the child that survived that trauma. I respect her a lot because she's inside of me. That's my inner child. And believe it or not, as weird as it's going to sound, I'm learning how to get along with her too. Because, I'm learning how to nurture it. I talked about a couple weeks ago about how I read a tweet from someone that says, how do I get rid of my inner child? And almost every single comment I read says, you can't, but, you have to nurture it. You have to take care of it. You have to heal that. You can call it anything. You can call it healing your soul. You can call it healing your heart. You can call it healing your inner child. It's about taking care of ourselves. That's why I always make sure there's a dedicated day during the week, no matter what I talk about, that is focusing on self-care. Because even if it's not something you're going to use, it's going to remind you that self-care is so important. Self-care is necessary. It's not selfish. All right. So, I'm going to end on that. Remember, perseverance. Believe it or not, this right here, ho'omau, perseverance. Moving forward. Keep moving forward. Ho'omau. All right. I literally tattooed it onto myself. But it goes with the whole thing. Okay. This is like my mental health thing. So I know. Not everybody's into tattoos. I think, I don't know. A lot of people I know that literally have bad dinged up mental health. A lot of us actually have tattoos. And I don't know. For me, I think, I was telling older sibling one day, because every time I get a new tattoo, she kind of rolls her eyes like, oh, so another one. But I think at a point when I was getting them, and I do want more, I'm not going to lie. But there was a point when I think, excuse me, that I had gotten them because it was something I could feel. Literally. I mean, it hurt, but not bad. I think I have a mild high tolerance for pain. But, I think for me, going back and thinking about it, they were things that I wanted. They were things I designed. I don't just randomly put things on me. Which if you do, it's okay. But for me, that's not my thing. These are parts of my story. And I've been very blessed to have, a person that did 2 of them that, really respected my story. And I was grateful for that. But, I think for me, it's because at the time, when I got the last one, when I look back on it, I could feel something because I'd been so numb, but I was also very proud of it because it meant something to me. It was a very important message to me, including the, like my iloko mai, which is at the top. That which is within matters. That which is within matters, and ho'omau. And this is also part of my heritage, my Pacific Islander heritage. But ho'omau is very, very important to me because it is about perseverance. It is about moving forward. And it's about carrying your story without carrying your pain. Or honoring your story without carrying your pain. Okay? And that doesn't mean, guys, that the pain and the freakiness doesn't come back. Alright? Every so often it will probably rear its ugly head. But when I say I'm healed, it's because I'm better equipped to handle these things. The last 2 days were a bit of a shit show in my head, but I'm bouncing back now because I finally learned I had to take the time to take care of myself. And sometimes that's what we need. The sooner we end the stigma of mental health, which by the way it is Mental Health Awareness Month and Asian American Pacific Islander Month. Ta-da! I cover them both. Yay! So anyways, I identify with both. But, but anyways, seriously, we have to end the stigma. All right? We have to end the stigma. So, on that note, perseverance, ho'omau, keep moving forward, all that good stuff. Tomorrow, Aloha Oracle Friday. If you have thoughts, questions, need an answer, put it out there to your guides. Set an intention. If it is meant for me to answer, hopefully you will find your answer. I always start with the Angel Answers deck. I'm going to tell you now, don't worry where the messages come from. Just focus on the message. And when I say that, I mean because a lot of people might say, oh my God, no, and, or, oh, she's talking about fairies, or she's talking about angels, or she's talking about God, or she's talking about, I don't know, Odin, whatever. They're cards, okay? They're oracle cards. Just go with the message, all right? Technically, I've seen these now used in oracle readings. So, not personally by me, but by other people. So, anything can be used. My cousin actually gave me a reading with a deck of cards. Okay, that's how good she was. A deck of playing cards. So, like I said, if you need an answer or you have a question, you're welcome to come on live. And if I see your question, I will do my best to answer it, because I really do try to tap in for that one, or I do tap in for that one. For transparency, I do kind of have a powwow with Archangel Gabriel before, but that's what I mean. No matter where you fall on your belief spectrum, don't worry where the answers are coming from. Okay, I believe that somewhere out there, everybody's talking to one another. All right, so just in case I've lost you after that, have a great day. I will see everybody back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's California time, so 8:30 a.m. California time. Facebook Live under Shelly Marie Lucas. It is public. Anybody can watch. Or I do upload it to YouTube and then share it to Twitter right after I finish. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And please remember, practice your self-care. It is not selfish. It is necessary. Love you too, baby bear. Have a great day, everybody.